Alright, take 4. Here we have derivative rules. And if you are anything like me, you are not very good at these. So let's get good at some derivatives. Starting with power rule. Power rule is used to find derivatives of two functions multiplied to each other. So we have our equation right here, and as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. We have the derivative of f of x times g of x is f of x times g prime of x plus g of x times f prime of x. Now, order here doesn't really matter because you're only doing addition, so you could do g of x times f prime of x plus f of x times g prime of x. All it has to be is the normal function times the derivative of the other plus the derivative of the previous normal function times the normal function of the previous derivative function, if you get what I mean. So let's do this first problem. Now I get we can simplify it, but that's not the purpose. So let's start here. We have 5x squared as our f of x times g prime of x, which is 18x squared plus. Now we do g of x, 6x cubed times 10x, which is f prime of x. So again, we can kind of show you here and multiply these plus g of x times f prime of x. And when you simplify that out, you get 150x cubed. Let's check if that's our answer. Oh, whoops. I meant to say 150x to the fourth. That's because these two squareds and then cube times x. Yep, 150x to the fourth. The concept is the same. It was just a simple multiplication mistake. Now, let's go to the second problem. Here, I'm going to go a little faster. 5x squared times derivative of 3y to the fourth, which is 12y cubed, plus 3y to the fourth times the derivative of 5x squared, which is 10x, 60x squared y cubed plus 30xy to the fourth. And let's check if that's the right answer. 1 second, if we can, yep, there we go. And it is 30xy to the fourth and 60x squared y cubed. Sweet. So now I'm going to let you do this one on your own. 3, 2, 1. Actually, pause the video, but yeah. Let's look at the answer here. All right. So what do we have here? We have, and we'll call this f of x, and we'll call this g of x. This is g prime of x, because derivative of this, times f of x plus g of x times f of x, f prime of x. That's our formula, and then you simplify this, and you get 60y to the negative second z cubed minus 30y to the negative third z to the fourth. So that's it for power rule. Let's go to quotient rule. This is used to find the derivative of two functions divided by each other. Now, here's the quotient rule formula. F of x divided by g of x is, now order matters because you're subtracting, g of x, so the bottom ones, times the high one's derivative, minus the high one, times the bottom one's derivative, all over the bottom one squared. And there's a little jingle to go with this. Low d high, so derivative of high, minus high derivative low, over the bottom squared we go. And that's kind of a nice way to think of it. Again, you can simplify this one. I'm not going to, because that's not what we're learning. But remember, g of x times the derivative of f of x minus f of x times the derivative of g of x all over g of x squared. When you simplify that, you'll get 36x cubed minus 12x cubed all over 4x squared, and when that's simplified, this is 24x cubed. You'll get 6x, and the answer we get is 6x. So bravo, voila, voila. Now, I'm going to let you do this on your own. Pause the video in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to assume you're back now after pausing the video, and this is the answers. So once again, we have g of x right here times f prime of x, so low d high, minus, now we have high, so f of x. Okay, that was bad, my bad. d low, and then over the bottom squared. We went, and then if you simplify, all these numbers are divisible by 48, so they all simplified very nicely. You could take out a y as well, so this is the final answer. Lastly, chain rule. This is used to find the derivative of a function of a function. This is the easiest once you get to know it, and you can see the formula here. We see f of g of x. So a function of a function, f of g of x, would be f prime of g of x times g prime of x. So when you put that into motion, you see this outer function is f of x, and this inner function is g of x. So you want f prime of g of x times g prime of x. So let's do that. 6 4x squared to the first, because we're only doing the outside, so you subtract 1 from here and you move the 2 down here, times the derivative of what's inside, 8x. So when that simplifies out, you get 48x and 4x squared, which becomes 192x to the cubed. When you look at that, you get 192x cubed. I did these slightly different, but same answer, doesn't matter. I'm going to let you do this one really quickly, and then I will show you the answer to explain. Pause the video now. Okay, I'm assuming you're back after pausing the video. This is your answer. It's pretty straightforward, really. You subtract 1 from here, that becomes 2. Then you move 3 down here, so now you have 9y, and then you keep the middle the same. You don't change the middle for the first step. So 9y times 4x squared plus 1 squared, because you did the switch of the rule. 3 minus 1 is now 2, times the derivative of what's inside, which is just 8x, because the 1 gets disregarded, and when you multiply that all out, you get this as your answer. Alright, sweet, thank you. I'm hoping that helped you a little bit in understanding the rules, and yeah.